Okay, hi guys. I think that we're live. Sorry, I was trying to make sure everything was set up right. Can somebody tell me really quickly in the chat if you can see and hear me? That way I'm not just talking to myself for 20 minutes or longer and then realize that no one could hear me all along. I was talking to myself. So if I look over here, that means I'm seeing what you guys are asking in the chat, and hopefully I can help answer questions as we go and make this kind of an exciting, fun time for you, like a fun little webinar, and also where you walk away learning so much and feeling like you have the tools. So I'm just going to give it a second to see if someone can hear me, or somebody, anyone, everybody say, yes, we hear you, or say, okay, yay. Sydney says she can see and hear me. Okay, so we can get started. Cool. That's always my worst nightmare, that I'm going to just start talking and then everyone's just sitting there waiting and I'm just talking to myself over here. Okay, so I am so glad that you guys joined me tonight. Welcome to my little home. This is just a little pocket of my house. I really wish that I could invite you guys all over to actually sit in my living room, or even better, maybe my dining room table, so we could all have our laptops and walk through this all together. But since we all live in different places, some of you guys in different states, some of you in different countries, I figured online was the best way for us to connect and actually get this done. So yay, everyone can hear me and see me. I'm so excited you guys are all here. So why don't you guys really quickly in the chat tell me where you are tuning in from? So tell me in the chat where you're from. And if you guys can, leave your name as the comment so I know who it is. Otherwise, it throws you up as like an anonymous, and which is fine too if you want to be anonymous. But it's fun to know who's here. So we have Lily and Sydney and B. Is that your name? B? Beautiful. And Cassie with us. Who else is here with us today? We have someone from Canada. Is that what my chat says? Cool. I have not been to Canada yet. I've been in Niagara Falls and I've seen Canada, but we didn't go across the border that day. And I even have a passport and everything. I was a little girl, so we didn't get the chance. So Canada is on my list, which is awesome. Okay, let's see. Where is everyone else from? Georgia, that's not too far from us. We're here in North Carolina right now. Before that, we were in Missouri. And then when we sold our house in Missouri, we actually got into an RV and traveled the US for 8 months in between houses. We figured we kind of had the opportunity and the chance. So since we blog and our income is done 100% online now, and we can work from anywhere, we got an RV and we traveled all over the US until we were kind of ready to settle down and have a regular home again. So we're in North Carolina for now until we travel again. Let's see where else. We have someone from Texas, San Diego, Betty Lynn, we're so glad you're here. Her nickname is B, which is perfect. And you're from Canada as well. Cool, we have a couple from Canada. So you guys, I'm so excited that you're here. I'm sure you're wondering what you can expect on today's webinar. So this webinar is called Realistic Blog Startup, which basically what I want to help you do today is go from not really even knowing maybe what blogging is, or maybe you've dipped your toes in it a little bit, but you're ready to really like figure out like, what is blogging? Is there money to be made? And how do I start? So hopefully this is gonna be a really fun webinar, and it's also gonna be a really productive webinar. So you'll walk away today having started your blog. So I'm gonna go through the entire blog setup step by step. I'm gonna do a screen share so you can exactly see my screen, and then you can set up your blog at the exact same time. That way it's really easy to follow along and you don't have to be tech savvy at all. And we'll get it done in no time at all. So let's see, we have some from New Zealand, super cool. And we have some from New York. Sydney says she would love to RV travel in the US. Yes, if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. And otherwise, make it a dream, write it down, and start taking steps, because it can actually happen one day. So you guys, I'm so excited that you're here. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alita, and I blog at The Realistic Mama, which I started 3 years ago. And I started it for like multiple reasons, partly because I tend to talk a lot. And since I'm talking about all these different things all day long, I was like, well, I should blog about these things and write them down. And also because I was curious if you could make money blogging. And I was hoping that I could save up a little extra money to travel. And also my husband was working a regular 8 to 5 construction job. And I was hoping that maybe I could make enough where he could take a couple extra days off of work each month. You know, if I made enough that he could take, a few long weekends, Friday off here or there, Mondays off, or, a random little Wednesday here or there, just so we could spend more time as a family. I would consider that a huge win. And then I also was hoping to save up for a down payment of our first house. So at the time when I started the blog, we were living in a teeny 1-bedroom apartment, and we had just had our first daughter. And so we were kind of outgrowing the space quickly. We were fine. We were co-sleeping and the space was fine. We had our pack and play set up in our bedroom and it was fine, but we knew that it was only fine for a limited time. So we were saving up for our first house and I wanted to help contribute to that. So those were my main goals on starting the blog, was to financially contribute for travel, Corey being able to work a little bit less, and then a down payment of our house. So imagine my huge surprise when by month 18, we were actually making plenty on the blog, enough that my husband was able to quit his full-time job, and the blog supports our family full-time. So the coolest part is this has always been with part-time hours, because I don't want to work 40 hours a week. I want to just work part-time and hang out with my kids mainly and hang out with my family. That is the reason that I blog. So that is what I'm here to tell you guys today, is basically like how I did it, and actually how to do it even faster than I did it if you want. Because when I first started, there was no webinar that I got to get on. So I was ready to start a blog, and I just tried to call up anyone and everyone tech savvy or who I thought knew more about computers than I did, because I am not tech savvy at all. So I wanted to start a blog because I knew I wanted to try writing. I didn't even feel like I was a great writer at the time. Which is something I hear a lot. But the cool thing about blogging is if you're willing to learn, anything is possible. So even if you don't think you're a great writer right now, maybe you are and you just don't know it. Or maybe you're an amazing writer, super awesome, you're already ahead of others. Or maybe you're really not that great of a writer, and to start with, you just write really short little paragraphs and have a lot of pictures, or maybe you have a lot of bullet points, or maybe you convince a family member or a friend to start a blog with you and you work on each other's strengths. So whatever it takes, it's totally possible. So at the time, I was ready to start a blog, and with my no tech knowledge, I just called anyone that I thought knew more about computers than I did, right? So I was a couple friends, a couple family members, and I got some really good advice, and then I got some really bad advice too. And but at the time, I didn't know what was good and what was bad and what was, in the middle. I just had a bunch of advice, and I had to try to figure it out. So, I was Googling what the internet world thought I should do, which I also got even more advice, and I just started feeling really overwhelmed. So eventually I was able to sort it out and figure out there are certain ways to start a blog that leads to a path of success and profitability. And then there's other ways that lead to a lot of like extra time and a lot of roadblocks and headache and things like that. So what I want to do for you today is basically alleviate that as much as possible and show you, hey, this is exactly how to start a successful blog. It's how once I figured out what I was doing, it's how I did it. And then it's also how I have all of my friends, family members, and readers start their blog. So we're going to walk you through all of that today. So let's see. I never in a million years thought that I would talk about blogging. That was not something that when I started my blog, I thought I was going to be talking only about parenting tips and kids activities and recipes or healthy living tips or whatever it was. And I didn't think I was going to be talking about the back end business side, because I didn't even know if I was going to make money, first of all. But then once I was, that's not why I started. I wasn't starting it to teach other people how to start a blog. But I realized that we've been, like my family, me and Corey and, our 2 kids that we spend so much time with because of the blog, but, the 8-month RV adventure that we had, this gorgeous home that we were able to buy, and all these different things, I just feel like I want to help pay it forward to other moms. So if you're not a mom, I'm glad you're here too, but my heart is mom. So I'm going to basically be speaking tips and tricks, especially for moms, because I want you guys to start blogs and do it in the smartest way possible so that you're not having to work excessive hours doing it, so you can still hang out with your kids, because that, is the end result that I want for myself. And I bet it's what you guys want for yourselves too. So I was actually like a little bit thinking about what I wanted to talk about on this webinar, like just before we started. I was like, okay, what do I mainly want to hit home the most with everyone today? And I went, you know what? I'm just going to talk to all of you guys like I would talk to my friend if we were getting together at the park for a play date. And I'm just going to be kind of raw and honest with you guys. That way you can take away, what's the most helpful and go with it. So your reasons for blogging might be different than mine. Your reasons for blogging might be income, like maybe it's extra income, just a little bit of side income. Maybe you just want to alleviate some of the financial stress off of your husband. Maybe you just want to, contribute to the grocery budget. Maybe you just want to have a little extra spending cash. Maybe you're actually wanting to blog full time and replace your current job. Some of you might have businesses like that, like a photography business or an Etsy shop, or some sort of business that you want to grow through having a blog, because by having a blog you can create trust and loyalty, and that will just create even more customers for your current business. Some of you guys might just want to have an outlet for yourself to be able to write, and we all love being moms. At the end of the day, we love it. Like, being a mom rocks, but it's also really nice to have an outlet for ourselves, right? So maybe your reason for blogging is just to have an outlet for yourself. Or maybe one of your reasons is, I'm trying to think, a variety. It could be anything. It could just be like, you know what? I want to push myself outside my comfort zone and try this. I've been talking about it, and I'm just going to try it and see where it leads me. So, if you're brave enough, tell me in the chat, what is your reason? What is the greatest motivation that you have behind starting your blog today? I'd love to hear your reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, for me, it was traveling. It was Corey being able to work a little bit less, which super awesome that he was able to completely quit his job later. But that's not even at the beginning. I just thought a little bit of more time with him, or extra spending cash. Like, what is your main motivation? Maybe family vacation. Maybe you just want to buy your dream car, or pay off some loan that you have, or whatever it is that blogging can help create. So tell me, you guys, in the chat, what is your greatest motivation for starting a blog today? Let me see. So as your guys' answers are rolling in the chat on what your greatest motivation is, I just want to tell you guys that my goal today is to empower you and show you the first step. So I want to give you the tools so you can do the first step today. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of that when we actually do get to that point. And the reason being is because you have the opportunity to just watch along and do it, which is going to save you an enormous amount of time later. And it means that you actually took the first step towards a dream you have. And that first step is the hardest one. So right now you have the support and the accountability of watching this video and doing it at the exact same time. So I highly, highly recommend that you do that. Okay, let's see what some of our reasons for blogging are. New mom, and I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Amanda, okay, I am here to help you. Like anything, like I'm going to show you this first step. I hope that you just do it and then cling to it and remember your motivation and make your blog a huge success. I absolutely believe in you and Amanda. Lily is retired and I would like to have extra pay money. Awesome. Let's see what else we have. Someone has a business already and has had this on their mind, a business, a side creative outlet. Awesome. See if I can make money blogging. Literally, you guys, when I started my blog, it was mainly like I had always talked about doing it. So Corey was like, Alita, just try it. Just do it. It's $3 a month. Just try it and see where it takes you. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I'm also really curious, like, can you actually make money blogging, or is that not really a thing? You guys, you can. I was so shocked. I still am so shocked. And I've had reader after reader and friends and family members start blogs, and it's working for them too. So it's not just that I got lucky. It's simple to start a blog, but it's not always necessarily just get rich quick. You put in the work and you're going to see the results. So let's see, we have another stay-at-home mom. Supplement income for your family, gain exposure for your staging design business, use writing skills as a creative outlet. Yes. So I need to replace my full-time income. Gary, super cool. I would love to have an outlet for myself. Extra money doesn't hurt. Yes, absolutely. So the cool thing about blogging, and this is what I think is so cool, is it's not just about the money. So, some people work jobs 40 hours, 50 hours a week, just literally for the money. But the cool thing about blogging is you can actually help people, and you can be bettering the world, and you can be growing your own self, and you're making money. So the cool part about the money is as I write a post that helps other people, I then make some money from, the advertisements on the page, or from affiliate links or things like that. And that money helps support my family. So now I have more time to be able to write more quality posts to help more people. So it's just a really cool cycle of helping people. And then the money supports my family. So now I have more time so that I can keep helping people. And it's just a cool circle. So we have tons of people saying all their reasons for wanting to start a blog. Lift some of the stress off my hubby. I love that. Yes, because the numbers are so large on how many marriage fights are about money. And that makes me so sad because there are ways to alleviate that stress and there are ways to have that extra, to create that margin in your life. So you have, padding. Okay, so many. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your guys' motivational reasons, but I love everything I've seen and I'm sure yours are awesome too. So let me see so that I don't miss what I was going to say. Make sure we hit all our points tonight. I highly recommend, like I said earlier, that you take advantage of doing this whole thing live with me. So I'm going to be going over some of the blogging basics with you. I'm going to be talking about the levels that a successful, profitable blog, like we were talking about, what you need to do for that. And then I'm going to be moving into a screen share and going through the whole thing with you. So what I recommend is getting your devices ready and choosing how you want to do it. If you want to watch me on your phone and then do the blog setup on a computer, or you can just, if you're already on your computer, you can just split the screen, and that way you can have me maybe up in a teeny little corner and then be creating your blog in the other half of the screen. Or maybe you just have two browser tabs and you can flip back and forth between them and kind of listen to me and follow along. So however you do it is fine, but just maybe be thinking about that right now. You could also be thinking about your blog name, because we're going to start in a second and we're going to have to choose a blog name. So that can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be a little bit of that moment where you're like, you kind of just stop and you're like, nope, not going to do this. I don't know what to do. I don't have the blog name, not sure what to do. So I just want to say, take a deep breath. It's better to just start with what you have right now, like the name that popped in your mind first, or brainstorm a couple ideas and then just pick your favorite, then not start at all. And I'll show you guys a really funny cartoon about that in a second. But really the biggest thing is just starting. So brainstorm some blog names while we're chatting, but don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Just think about things you've been, really excited about in life, things you've been thankful that have happened in your life. And maybe that will kind of spur an exciting idea in your life. So random little fact, you cannot be stressed and thankful at the same time. Your brain just can't do that. So if you're starting to feel a little bit stressed, just think about things that you're thankful for. And then when you're in that moment of thankful feeling, then you'll be like, oh, what do I want my blog name to be? And then maybe something will pop in your mind in that moment of more peace. So, okay, if you start to feel overwhelmed, it's okay. It just means you're human and it's normal. So just to get rid of the overwhelm and get rid of the stress, think about things you're thankful for, and then just go with it. Just go with the blog name that you've been thinking about. And just don't overthink it. If you get in your head and you start overthinking it, that's a lot of times where best ideas die. So if you're in your head too much, stop, just follow your heart. So let's see. A couple of you guys might be on the fence because you're like, okay, this sounds really cool, but how much does it cost to start blogging? And that's totally a legit question. It's a question I had myself too. So this is the coolest part. It literally costs $3 a month to start a blog. And this is what I'm talking about, starting the blog the right way. There are sites out there where you can start a blog for free. And how do you make that sound? I don't know. Whatever that sound is, don't do it. So here's why you don't want to do that. Because when you start a blog on a free site, you don't own 100% of your content. It's harder to be professional and it's harder to make money on that site. And then later, when you're ready to start making money, you have to create redirects. You have to transfer all of your files from this to this, and you want to make sure that all the links don't get lost. And it's a huge headache and hours of work. So I want to help save you from all of that. So don't do this, okay? So $3 a month, and then you're already on the track to making money and being profitable. So $3 a month is all that it costs. You guys, that's cheaper than, fancy coffees at coffee stores. I'm sure even those of you, because every time someone tells that analogy, they're like, oh, it's cheaper than coffee. I'm like, well, I don't drink coffee out that often. But here's the deal. Think about your grocery budget, right? All the things that you load in your grocery cart when you're pushing it around wherever you shop. I'm sure there's some way that you could save $3 every month. Maybe you take one thing back out of your grocery cart and that's your $3. So $3 a month is totally doable. But here's where I will convince you even more. I'm going to run over some numbers for you numbers people on how much I made at different stages blogging. So if you're a numbers person, get out your pen and paper. And these are really good goals. They're really good, benchmarks for you to know what is attainable, like what's realistic. When someone says set a goal, like how much are you going to make by month 6 of blogging? You're like, well, I have no idea. This will help you. But here's what's even cooler. You can do it so much faster than me because I did not know what I was doing the first couple months. And you can just basically like fast forward through all of that really fast. So, okay, here we go. Month 4 of blogging, I made $131. So while that doesn't sound like a ton of money, to me it was super motivational because for a long time I didn't know what I was doing. And then suddenly I was like, hey, I'm doing something right because I'm actually making money. So it proved to me that there was money to be made in blogging. The other cool thing is, remember, I'm only working part-time. I'm just doing this as a side thing. I have a kid. My husband's the main guy working. I was just a stay-at-home mom. And I was, doing my regular life and just doing a blog on top of that. So what's really cool about this is it's part-time. And think about how many months of $3, if it costs $3 a month to blog, $131 is how many months? I don't think I can do math that fast. One of you guys tell me. 40? Is that, no. Yeah, is that right? 40 times 3 is around 130, 120, something like that. Okay. I'm normally good at math, but I'm on the spot here. So we'll just ignore that. But anyway, so month 4, I made $131. So that was just in month 4 alone, like in a 30-day period, I made $131. Month 5, I made $307. So this is not cumulative, like a cumulative. My gosh, I cannot get any of my words right today. Now you guys know I'm totally human. Okay, so month 6 of blogging, I made $467. Month 7, $856. And again, this is like in month 7, I made $856. But here's where it gets exciting. I started really figuring out what I was doing. I figured out what was working right. And this is what I'm talking about. You guys can do it even faster than me because you don't have to do all those mistakes that took me weeks and weeks to figure out. Month 10, I made $3,600, over $3,600, $3,640. Month 15, I made over $9,600, $9,684. So month 15 of blogging, I made $9,684 in just a 1 month period. But you guys, I'm working part-time. That is my biggest goal. Even now, like right now blogging, I'm probably spending around, I guess maybe like 20 hours a week blogging, but sometimes like a little bit less than that. Last week we only worked Monday and Tuesday, and then we're like, let's take the rest of the week off. We worked a little extra on Monday and Tuesday. We were like, let's take the rest of the week off. So my always goal in blogging is to work, how little can I work? So my main goal is to work like 5 to 10 hours a week. That would be my sweet spot because that gives me enough like creative outlet time and me time, time away from my kids. I mean, sometimes my kids are on my lap while I'm blogging, and sometimes while they're napping, I'm like, okay, this is me time. So 5 to 10 hours would be like my sweet spot. So month 15, $9,600. Now, 100, totally honest here, there's been some times when I've worked, probably 30, maybe 40 hours a week. I don't know that I've worked that much, but there's some times that it's been bigger when we've had like a big product that we're launching or something like that. So, it kind of goes up and down, but the cool thing about blogging is it can be what I want it to be. So I get to be in control of that. If I want to work 30 hours a week, I can. If I want to work 5 hours a week, I can. I'm the boss and I get to choose. And now that I've set up so much income that's passive, it's not how many hours do you work and that's how many dollars you make. It's not I make $20 an hour, so I have to work more hours in order to make more. That's not how it works. You work smarter and you can work less hours and make even more. So that was a limiting belief that I had to change in my mind because, growing up, I used to work at a preschool for less than $8 an hour. And so it was always like, if I wanted more money, I had to work more hours there. So this has been a total like mindset shift that I had to do in my own brain. Hours worked is not always related to how much money you make. It's just working smarter. Okay. So anyways, when you think about in month 15, me making over $9,600 that month, suddenly $3 a month to start a blog is pretty small. It's totally doable, right? So at the end of the day, even if you just try a blog today and see where it takes you, you're ahead of the crowd because that's all I did. I started a blog just to try it. I didn't commit necessarily to anything. I didn't know 3 years later I would still be blogging. I didn't know it would become a full-time business. I just decided to try it. So that's all I'm asking tonight. I'm going to show you guys the steps and see where it takes you. And then in a couple months, send me an email and tell me where it took you. So, okay. So again, in my mind, this is my biggest tip that I'm going to tell all of you guys. Quality over quantity. all day long, quality over quantity. So a lot of people ask me like, how many blog posts should I write each week? I was like, that kind of just depends on you. I mean, if you have time, you can write 2 or 3, or just write one amazing post each week. Sometimes I post even less than that on my blog. Sometimes I just post one every other week. It just depends on how busy my life is. But the thing is every single blog post that I do publish, it has so much quality in it. It's adding value to people's lives that I don't have to write a blog post every single day. So quality over quantity is the secret ingredient to every single busy mom. So write that down, literally write it down, quality over quantity. So that is how you are going to win and make money and not just have to like work more and more time. So I wish I knew, I'll have to Google later who said this quote. It was in a book I read recently. But life is long if you know how to live it. And when I read that quote, I was like, oh, that's such a good quote. Because in my mindset is I feel like my kids are growing up so fast. Life is so short. Like everything's moving so quickly, like slow it down. When I read that quote, I was like, actually, that's so true. Life is long if you know how to live it. And quality is going to be one of the secret ingredients to that. So quality over quantity as you're creating these blogs. Always think smarter, not harder. There's a quote that says, 80% of your success is tied to 20% of what you're doing. So if you can do more of that 20%, you're going to have even more success. So it's just, again, changing our mindset to thinking smarter, which we teach our kids all day long. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to, just do your best. So I just encourage you guys to do that today as well. So let's see. Can we all agree that if we want something enough, we are going to find those little pockets of time. We're going to find that $3 a month. We are going to find the courage within us and we're going to do it. So if you want what you guys were saying, the reasons you want to start a blog, to grow your business, side income, you want to be a stay-at-home mom because you just had a baby, and all those different things, that, you guys, is powerful. So if you know why you want to start a blog and why you want to make income online, then you're absolutely going to find that $3 a month to start. You're absolutely going to find those little pockets of time to create that quality content. And it's totally doable. So if you're worried that you're not tech savvy, I think I covered that earlier, but literally I wasn't either. I still barely am. I just know enough to get me by and help you guys get started correctly as well. So you really don't need to be tech savvy to do it at all. And I'm going to walk you through it all step by step. So the last silent fear that I'm going to talk about really quickly is, because I know there has to be a few of you that are thinking this, because this is the thing that stopped me almost the most, was that fear of like, who am I? Like, am I an expert? What am I going to blog about? That worry of like, is anyone going to care about what I write? Like when I write something and put it out there, who wants to hear this? But the thing is there is somebody who is going through life who needs you. They are a couple steps behind you and they really want to know how to do it. And so if you can make their life a little bit easier, they are gonna cling to you and follow you. They are gonna become your little loyal tribe. So it's just gonna become this really cool online tribe. So when I started my blog, I had a 4-month-old daughter, and I started a blog on all things parenting. So in the world's, or from an outside perspective, you would think, okay, is she actually an expert on parenting? Like, she has a 4-month-old daughter. But here's the thing. I never claimed to be an expert. All I said is, hey, I have a little daughter, and this is, some tips that I found that made breastfeeding easier. Or, I had a home birth, so I kind of talked about that. Or maybe I said, here's an easy recipe because my life is so busy and I found this easy recipe and it's really helped us. And I noticed that suddenly pregnant moms started following me because they hadn't even had a baby yet. So they had no idea what that was like. So they're like, hey, she's actually a little ahead of me. I'm kind of curious what it's like. So they started reading my blog. And then moms who had just had their babies started following me. And then I started having people who had older kids start following my blog. And I even had grandparents start following my blog. And I was like, kind of curious, like, why are they following my blog? But there's multiple reasons why people will follow your blog. So a couple of them were like, hey, I forgot what it was like to be at that stage. So they're reading just to learn from that. Or maybe I share an easy recipe that a grandma over here is like, hey, that's awesome. I love that recipe. I'm going to try it too. I also have a lot of like older moms who like help leave comments and give me super great tips. They're like, oh, you're doing so great. They cheer me on in life, and they also give me some great wisdom for my own life. So suddenly this tribe has started to form. But the point I have here is that I was not an expert in what I was talking about. So all you have to be is just a couple steps ahead of somebody and then add value to their life. And then they're going to, just follow you as you continue to grow and they're growing. So if somebody is like way over here, they don't know anything, and you know so much, you're way over here, this is a huge gap and it's very intimidating. So you almost forget what it's like to be at these very beginning stages. So you almost kind of lose this person. This person's like, that person knows too much. So this gap is too large. So really, sometimes just being a couple steps ahead is the best place, and then they can just follow you along. So whatever you know, just the key is add value to somebody's life. So if you're not sure, just think about like when you get together with a friend, what do you talk about? Or at night, what do you chat with your husband about? What are some, thoughts or experiences or stories you've had in your life that if you share would help bless somebody? There are people out there that want to hear what you have to say and that will be greatly blessed by it. So, don't hold it back. Don't hold it in. Put it out there and see who you can bless by adding value. So don't worry about not being an expert. I wasn't either. I still am not. I'm just sharing my experience and hoping that it helps other people not feel so alone. So be genuine, be your true self, and you're going to find that that is going to make you stand out in the internet world. If you are creating quality content, if you're adding value to people's lives and you truly care, you're going to rise and you're just going to stand out. You're totally going to stand out. So let's see. By starting a blog, I just want to remind you like what's possible. So I talked about it a little bit earlier. I started the blog for those 3 reasons. And since then, we've been able to travel because of the blog. Since then, Corey was able to quit his job. Since then, when my little guy was born, we actually were able to take 3 months off of the blog. We just were like, hey, he's going to be born in December, the end of December. So we're like, we're going to take off from the day he's born, and then January, February, and March. So we just planned that. And because we had created a blog that had passive income, we were able to continue to support that. So that's another cool thing about blogging is a lot of it is passive income. So you do put in the work, and, I continue to put in work and it continues to grow and things like that. But on the weekends, we are still making money. The 3 months that I took off to just snuggle and hang out with my newborn baby, we were still making money. So that is the beauty of passive income, you guys. We talked about how much kind of I made at different benchmarks, but again, month 15, over $9,600. That's crazy. Other bloggers, I know another blogger that makes over $100,000 a month, over $100,000 a month blogging. So you guys, like anything is possible. Now, she works more than I do. So that's fine with me because I want to work the amount of hours that I work. And eventually, my income is going to keep growing. It continues to grow, which is awesome. But I've chosen what I want for my family. There's a blogger that I know that 100% her blog supports their grocery budget. And she's so happy with that. She has 3 kids and she's able to alleviate all that stress off of her husband. Ours is full-time income with part-time hours, and both my husband and I are at home with the kids. My little guy, who's 18 months, older than that actually now, has, during his lifetime, his daddy has never went off to an 8 to 5 regular job. That's crazy, you guys. Like, I still kind of tear up. I get emotional about that. That is unheard of. But the thing is when you think outside the box, you can actually live the unheard of life. So there was one blogger that I know that started a blog, an extremely successful blog, and then she felt called to adopt kids. So she actually sold her blog to fund their adoption because international adoption can be very expensive. So she sold her blog to fund the adoption, adopted the kids, and then later started another blog that supports their family. So how cool is that? You have no idea where your blog is going to take you. I could tell you a story of blogger after blogger after blogger whose husbands have quit their jobs, who, were able to quit their own jobs, who are able to support incredible ministries all around the world by financially contributing because now they're making enough not only to support their family, but to give also. It's just incredible. Like I could go on. These things excite me. These stories excite me. That's what I'm telling you. You guys start a blog today, and then in a couple of months, send me an email and tell me, hey, I'm so glad I started a blog on this date, and look where we're at now. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so who is ready to start a blog Hopefully at this point you're kind of inspired. You're ready to try it. So who is ready to start their blog and make this their new adventure? So let me see. I'm going to check the comments real quick. You guys tell me if you're ready to start a blog, be like, yes, totally. Let's, why not? Let's try it. So, okay. Really quickly, I'm about to go into the screen share and go through all of the steps with you guys. So all of you that are screaming yes, who are like, okay, I'm really nervous and I'm a little overwhelmed, but the thing is as we walk through the steps, the overwhelm is going to start to fade because you're going to be like, oh, this is easier than I thought. So that's going to be a cool feeling. Okay, so really quickly before we start, so that I don't lose you in the process, I'm just going to talk about the 4 layers. That way you know exactly what to expect at each stop along the way. So there's 4 layers that every blog needs. And the first one is something called hosting. So hosting is a really fancy word for basically renting internet land. So you need to rent a piece of internet land in order to put your blog on. So we call that hosting. Okay, so it's $3 a month and you're just renting a space in the internet to put your blog on. So that's hosting. That's layer number 1. Layer number 2 is your domain. So your domain is basically your blog name and the website address that people can find you at, like the clickable link. So for me, it's www.woohoo. You guys, everyone's yeses in the comments, like, yes, they're so ready. Woohoo, let's start. They're so excited. Okay. Let's see. Do I do these steps too? I have a free site that I never use, but I want to keep the name. So if you already have a free site, there's 2 options when you come into, I do recommend that you do this entire tutorial that I'm going to do with you. If you already have a free site, you want to switch and start it the right way today. So if you already have a free site, you can use the exact same name and move it over to this professional site. Okay. So, or if you want to come up with a new name, you can do that too. You guys, I'm so excited. Everyone's screaming yes in the comments. I'm excited. Okay, so layer number 1 is hosting. It's $3 a month to rent your internet land, which is so cheap when you consider like a brick and mortar shop, how much it costs for rent and utilities. And all the different things to start up something like that. Plus, a lot of those brick and mortar jobs, you have to be there still consistently from open to close every day. So here, we're only spending $3 a month for internet rent, and we can do it flexible hours, and we can get online from anywhere. So $3 a month for hosting, then you have your domain. So for me, it's www.therealisticmama.com. So my blog name is The Realistic Mama, and my domain is www.therealisticmama.com. Did I do too many W's? Did I do the right amount? Hopefully. Okay, so that's a domain. Now you can get your domain absolutely free. Normally I think it's around $15, but you get it free when you pay for 12 months of hosting. So that's not bad. 12 months. It's only $3 a month. You pay for 12 months and you get your free domain. So you're golden there. Layer number 3 is WordPress. So that is basically your blog house. That's how you can think of WordPress. It's your blog house. That's how you're going to write your posts. That's how you're going to customize your site. That's where I go every single day. So I go into WordPress and I create my blog post and I put in my pictures. So that's WordPress. Now, really quickly, there's a big difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So I'm going to show you exactly how to install the correct one here in a second. But WordPress.com is that free site that we don't want because we don't 100% own our content. WordPress.org is also free, but you put it on top of that hosting that you're already paying for, and it's a beautiful blog that you can customize and I can't believe WordPress is free, actually. It's incredible, all the things that it does. So WordPress goes on. That's layer number 3. Layer number 4 is your theme. So your theme is basically how you decorate the inside of your house. It's all that kind of the fun decorations. And the cool thing about a theme is it's actually easier to install than you think. And once you install it, it basically says, okay, here's your menu bar. Here's where your sidebar is. Here's where your main logo, where your blog name goes. And here's where your post is going to go. So it's going to make your site look super official in no steps at all. So that's really cool about the theme. So we got our hosting, the internet rent land, the domain, just our blog name, and then we have WordPress, which is where we build our sites, and then the theme that decorates WordPress and makes our blog look unique. So, okay, here we go. I'm so excited. You guys are all ready to do it. So let's get to it. Okay, let me make sure that I don't have anything else to tell you before I do the screen share. And we get started. So hopefully you guys are like brainstorming different blog names, or maybe you at this point already have it. But if you don't, get out a sheet of paper and a pen really quickly and just write down your favorite blog names that you can think of, and then circle your favorite one. And then if it's already taken, just go with number 2. Just go with it. You're going to thank me later. Okay. Did I cover everything before we go into the screen share? Let me see. All my notes are all mixed up. I can tell I was just getting excited. Okay. Yeah, we're ready. So I'm going to do a screen share, and what you can do to follow along is you can click the blue button below this video, or you can go to the realisticmama.com/start. So that big blue button below this video is going to take you to Bluehost, and we've partnered up with them. That's an affiliate link that gets you a cheaper price. So if you went to their site directly, you'll actually end up spending more. But if you use that blue button below this video to go to Bluehost, you can get your hosting for as little as $2.95 a month, which is it's insane that it's so cheap. So, okay, let me start the screen share really quickly here. It might get messy just for a second. Okay, ignore that messy. Okay, so I told you guys I was going to show you this little cartoon. So I'm going to give you 2 seconds to read this while I need a little sip of water. But this cartoon nails why you should start a blog today. Okay, so you guys still here reading this cartoon? This is hysterical. This is so true in so many things in life. 2 people want to start a garden at the same time. So Rabbit just starts planning and Fox is overthinking it. Maybe should I buy a fence first? And maybe I should buy a sprinkler system. This guy's watering away, doing his stuff. Whoa, what is your secret to success? I just started. But this is so true, you guys. So this is why I want to walk you through today exactly how to start a blog. Sydney is admitting in the comment that she is a fox. And I know, you guys, I think we all have fox inside of us. So today, let's all be rabbit and just start planting. Just do that little first step. And then suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, we have flowers in our garden because we took that little first step. Okay, so if you push the blue button below this video, you are here. Right? So this is the hosting that I was talking about. That's basically like renting your little plot of land. So if you push the little blue button below this video, it took you here. This is a special price through our affiliate link so you should see $2.95. If it's more expensive, then you didn't click the button. So, or you can go, like if the blue button's not working, you can go to the realisticmama.com/start. So that's pretty simple, the /start. Okay, and then you'll just click get started now. So you guys, I'm just going to walk you through it all and you guys can just do it with me. That way later on, you're not like, oh, what button did she push? And it ends up taking extra hours, extra headache, extra overwhelm. So here you go. Okay, right here, select your plan. All you need is the basic plan. This is exactly where I started. It's where all of my readers, friends, family started. Later on, if you want to upgrade, you can, but there really should not be any reason that you'll need to. So the basic plan will give you everything that you need. So you can just click select. Okay, now right here is where you're going to put in the new blog name that you want, okay? So whatever you've been thinking about, just try it out here. This is the spot. Now there's going to be just a couple of you that already have blogs that maybe are hosted somewhere else, but they're either super unreliable or their customer service is horrible. Maybe you're spending way more than you need to be. And in that case, you can take your blog name and you can put it in right here and you can switch it over to Bluehost. Super easy. But most of you guys are over here in this new domain section. Now, the reason that I love Bluehost is their customer service is amazing. See, they even have chat. They have, okay, sorry. I have like so many sidetracks real quick. But this, if you hang out on this page long enough, this pop-up might show up. And this lets you choose a free domain later. So if you're really, really stuck with your blog name, you can click the blue button below this video and then wait for this pop-up to arrive. Right? But you have to get to you have to click the get started button and then get to this domain field and then just wait around for maybe like 60 seconds or so and this will pop up. But you guys, I am serious. Close this if you are brave because it is better to just go with something, okay? So all of you guys are filling in your domain here, but I wanted to tell you why I choose Bluehost. So you know what are you paying for? Why Bluehost? Bluehost is where I started. It's where I have everybody start because their customer service is awesome. They are extremely reliable and their price is perfect. Okay, so then let's say I go with realisticmama.com and click next. If you get this and it says the domain is currently owned by another hosting account, don't worry. I got this also when I first started. It just means, hey, you need to come up with a new name idea or a new variation of the name that you're thinking. So when I first started, we tried some other names and they weren't available. So we kept, kind of thinking. And then my husband thought up the name Realistic Mama. And so I tried and I was like, oh, it's not available. Then I was like, hey, what if we put the word the in front of it? The Realistic Mama. And actually, I love it even more because it seems to flow a little better, like the Realistic Mama. So I love it. So I just tried it. So just go with something, try a variation of it. If you're really stuck, maybe go with your name. I've seen a lot of people do this, and it's really cool because as soon as you stop by their site, you feel a little personal connection to them because you already know their name. It kind of gives you almost a feeling of trust. It also kind of builds your brand as you, and it kind of lets you blog about whatever you end up wanting to blog about. So in that case, maybe I would do like AlitaQuitDriver.com or whatever the case may be. So I actually happen to already own AlitaQuitDriver.com. So I'll just say like Alita Quit Driver, and I'm just throwing the number 5 on here just to get to the next field and show you guys. I don't necessarily recommend doing that. Don't just throw random numbers at the end of your domain because it kind of will be confusing to your readers. But we'll click next. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds all to think up your name. But once you get to this field, create your account, that means you're golden. The name that you want is available. So you're here. And we will just start, you can just start kind of filling in. If pop-ups show up like, hey, do you want to spend more money and buy something? You can just close them out. No worries. Okay, so right here, create your account. You can just start filling in all of your information right here. I'm going to give you guys like a couple of minutes to do all of this, but I'm going to kind of keep talking, teaching you little blogging tips, give you little thoughts and things like that, and walk you through, if you scroll down in this package information section, exactly what to select. So they're going to try to sell you on a bunch of extra things, and you really don't need them, so you can uncheck them. There's no reason spending extra money if you don't need to, but I do highly recommend that you pay for this domain privacy protection. So what domain privacy protection is it basically keeps your address and your phone number and your email address safe from the entire internet world. So that's totally worth spending 99 cents per month. So make sure you keep domain privacy protection checked. I've had people email me before and they're like, I did not, like they didn't watch, you know what I mean? They didn't have the tutorial for me to watch. And they're like, why am I getting so much spam? And I'm like, first of all, switch over to Bluehost and then make sure you have domain privacy protection, okay? So that's super important. And then here you can choose whether you want to get it for like 12, 24, 36 months. 36 months is the best value, or you can do 12 months. It's really kind of up to you. I think when I started, I did 36 months, but let's just say whichever you select is fine. So then just make sure you have domain privacy protection checked here. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to fill in all your account information, and I'm going to keep it on here so you guys remember to check this button. So, yay, we have people starting their blogs. It worked as a new domain. Awesome. So someone asked, would you recommend having your email address the same as your business name? So, yeah, I would. So once you start in Bluehost, so you've already once we get past all of this and set up your blog account, it's really easy to create an email address in Bluehost. So my email address is alita@therealisticmama.com. So it's really simple and easy, and that makes it very much more professional. So definitely after you set up your blog, you guys can set up your email addresses at the exact same as your blog. And it's really easy. I would just Google how to, because I don't think we'll have time to do that on today's webinar, but you can literally just Google how do I set up my email address in Bluehost, and it'll walk you through it, and it's very simple. Like I said, a lot of this is, you don't have to be as tech savvy as you think. So, okay. So you guys, package information, choose how much you want, make sure you select domain privacy protection, put in all your payment information, make sure you check I've read and agreed to Bluehost, terms of service, cancellation, privacy. Okay, and then click submit. And then it will take you to this field. I'm just going to show you screenshots from here. So this is an exciting field. This means that you are the rabbit and you started your blog. So excited for you guys. Okay, this is actually really big. It really is, because it means that you took a step to your thoughts and your dreams and the things that you're, wanting to do. It means that you're trying it and just seeing where it takes you. Like imagine if we tried the things that we wanted, like how much farther in life it'll take us. So if you're here, do a little dance, give yourself a high five, a hug, scream, jump up and down, do whatever. Like take a moment to celebrate. And even better, plan sometime this week, like literally schedule a time to do something fun. So whether it's tonight or tomorrow or, this weekend or whatever, that you set up the time to like, hey, we're going to all go out to ice cream because we started the blog or whatever it is, just to celebrate, because part of life is doing the hard work. And then part of life is celebrating and enjoying what we've done, being proud of ourselves. So let's see, I'll give you guys a few minutes to get here. So while I'm waiting for all of you guys to fill in your account information and think of your blog names and, whatever step you're at, no big deal. You will catch up, so no worries. But I'm gonna take a moment at this field to just talk to you guys about like some random tips. So how I was talking about earlier, like thinking outside the box and focusing on quality over quantity, being smarter and not harder. So some of you might be like, hey, I'm really good at writing, but I'm not very good at pictures. So how am I going to get great like Pinterest images and things like that? Well, here's the deal. So think outside the box again. Do you have a friend who's a great graphic designer? Do you have a friend that's a really good photographer? Do you have someone in your life that's, great with photos or pictures or design? Maybe ask them if you can like trade in some way. Maybe you can bake them cookies, or maybe you can babysit their kids for a while. If it's another mom friend, more than likely she will be stoked to help you work on some images for your blog for trade for babysitting. So think outside the box as much as you can in life and in this new blogging adventure. There's also like stock image sites that you can use, some free, some as little as like $1 an image or 39 cents an image, or like I said, there's some free sites that you can get some great images for your blog. So think outside the box, and this is all doable. Okay, so you guys, who is here? Who is at the welcome to Bluehost congratulations field? I'm going to keep going through the steps. If you're not quite here, it's okay. Just take a deep breath, keep working through it. You will absolutely catch up, so don't worry about it. Okay, you're going to click create your password if you're here. And then here you'll choose your password. I usually just have it suggest a password for me. That way I know it's absolutely secure. It has like capitals, lowercase, it has numbers, it has why can't I think of the word? Like the little symbols. It has all of that in there to make sure it's really secure and safe from hackers and things like that. So I usually have it suggest a password, and then make sure you save your password in a safe place so that you have it. And then you'll be at the next thing and you're ready to log in. So once you log in, WordPress should automatically begin to install. So this is what you should be seeing. Now there's a couple of you that maybe by chance WordPress won't install, and in that case, there'll be a little option right here that says, hey, do you want to install WordPress? And you can, in the drop down, pick your new blog name and then just click the button install. So super easy still. You just find your blog name in the drop down menu and then click install, and WordPress will begin to install. But for most of you, it should begin to install automatically, which is really cool. It did not install automatically when I did it. It was several more steps. So this is kind of a cool, easy bonus. Bluehost has made it even easier. They've kind of like partnered up and worked together. Let me take a glass of water real quick. Okay, there's a few people in the comments that are saying they're lost, or one person that's saying she's a little lost. Can you tell us where are you lost? What step are you at, or what's going on? Did I just get a little bit too far? Sometimes I talk really fast and I get excited and I go through things a little fast. So I can slow down if I need to make sure everyone gets the full value out of this. So tell me in the comments where you're at. I'll kind of slow down a little bit. Okay, so she says she's at the congratulations field. So if you're there, let me scroll back to it really quickly. I'm guessing you're right here. Welcome to Bluehost, congratulations. So right here, all you have to do is say create. You should have a create your password. Like if it says congratulations, you already got your receipt emailed to you or whatever, you're all set. You should have a create your password button. And it should be really simple. If it's trying to sell you on something else, just say no thanks. There should be a no thanks option there. that you can just say, no, thank you. They're like, oh, you can do this extra special bonus. You're like, just hit no, thank you. You don't need any of that stuff. And then you can kind of, now, if you're for some reason not seeing this create your password button, get on chat with them or call them. This is literally why Bluehost is the bomb. Oh, sorry. Their customer service is amazing. So just get on the chat with them real quick, get on the phone with them, just say, hey, what's going on? Or also you could probably, like if you're already at this congratulations field, go check your email and go see, you know, I'm sure they sent you something like, woohoo, thanks for signing up. I noticed you didn't create a password yet. Click here to create your password. So there's always a way. Okay, so she said she did. She had a little pop-up that was trying to sell her on something extra, and you just hit no thank you, which I'm really glad that you asked that actually, because that's super important. So I forgot to mention that, if you have a big pop-up that says, hey, you should totally buy this, just hit no thank you. If they try to sell you an extra stuff, just say no thank you. And then you should get to the create your password field where you can create your password, have it suggest a password or do something really, secure. And then you're here and you can log in. So for the rest of you who are installing WordPress, WordPress is probably already underway and hopefully, done. But if not, it will be done very shortly. And then you should have a login button. So you can just click that login button. And this is where the magic happens. Like WordPress is where you'll find everything. It's going to say, do you want to create a new post? Do you want to do all this exciting stuff? And this is where your blog becomes real. So you can log into WordPress. Now, alternatively, I want to tell you guys how to log into your WordPress accounts. That way, later when you're like, hey, you're not at this screen anymore and you're trying to figure out how to log into your blog, you know how to. So get out your pen and paper and write this down. So to get to your blog, you're going to go to your newblogname.com and then you're going to say /WP-admin. Okay, so this is super simple. And I'm going to say it again just to make sure that you guys know it. So for me, it's going to therealisticmama.com /WP-admin. So WP stands for WordPress. So just, yournewblog.com /WP-admin. So that's super easy. Okay, so now you're going to log into WordPress. So Annie is saying it's asking me to pick a theme. So I'm not sure, Annie, which step you're at. Did you get WordPress already installed and you're logged in? Or is Bluehost saying, hey, you should pick a theme? Because if Bluehost is trying to get you to pick a theme, you don't need to do it in Bluehost. So what you need to do is in Bluehost, all you have to do in Bluehost is create a password and install WordPress. Those are your only two jobs inside of Bluehost. Your theme is actually going to be done inside of WordPress. So that's kind of an important key distinction here. Okay, so you're going to log into WordPress, and this is what the inside of your WordPress should roughly look like. Now, sometimes on your very first login to WordPress, it'll say, hey, are you creating a personal or a business blog? So this is totally up to you what you choose. If you're planning or hoping to make any money with it, I would just select business then. A few of you might be like, no, this is exclusively, I'm starting a blog just to create like a family memory, memorabilia place or something like that. In that case, you could just click personal, if you're creating like an online keepsake. But for most of you, I'm guessing you're probably going to be clicking the business button. And also that question wasn't even there when I first started. So I don't think it even matters that much which you select. So now once you're inside of WordPress, here under posts, you can hover over posts or click it, and then there should be an add new button. And you can start kind of writing your first post. And when you're writing posts, just think about talking to a friend and adding value to their life. So if you just learned a really cool new tip or on like maybe a cooking hack or something like that, all you have to do is say, hey, I just found this awesome cooking hack. It saved me so much time in my, in the kitchen lately. And I was so excited that I wanted to share it with you. Here's the link to the YouTube video that I just found it on. And hey, guess what? Now other people are going to find your little blog post and be like, oh, this is so awesome. Thank you for helping me. They go watch the YouTube video. They come back to your site and they're like, what other tips do you have? So just write your blog post to a really great friend and just add value. Share tips, tricks, experiences, stories, make them feel a little less alone. Okay, someone just said the video cut out. So tell me, can everyone else see or hear me? Fixed. Amanda said fixed it. So does that mean you guys can see and hear me or see my screen? Can everyone hear me? I don't know why I just saying that. That's so funny. Okay, that was really funny. Okay. So, okay, yay. Everyone says they can hear me. So it must have just been, I don't know, maybe, okay, someone said they have rain at their house, so maybe it was just the internet or something. So, I don't know. I'm really sorry. If it's kind of cutting in or out, maybe just refresh. The internet is something lovely that we all have to battle with all the time. So Amanda said she just created her password. So no problem. Just create your password. Keep moving along. Say no thank you if they try to sell you on something extra. And then install WordPress. So that's where you're at. Amanda, you're the fox. Awesome. You guys are doing it. You're starting blogs. Don't forget to email me later and tell me, how your new blogs are going, what's going on, how it's going. I told you my email address earlier, but anytime you can stop by my site and just contact me and find my stuff. So, okay, everyone can see me and hear me. Awesome. Hi, Erin. So glad you guys are here. Okay, so here we go. We're on the inside here, and we're already at the hour mark of this webinar. How crazy. I feel like I could probably chat with you guys all night long, but you're probably like ready to go celebrate your new blogs and hang out with your kids and explore WordPress and stuff like that. Let me really quickly, I'm going to go back to my face real quick. Hi. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see me still. There's a couple of you that are still going through the process, and that's totally fine. You'll catch up. WordPress will start to install, and you'll be there, and it'll be great. Yes. So yes, Sydney's asking if she can share her blog name. Throw your new blog names in the comments. Email them to me too. I want to know what your new blogs are. So if you started a blog, send me an email and say, hey, I started a blog. Here's the name of it. And that way I can send you an email back and just celebrate with you. So send me an email, go to The Realistic Mama and find my email address, contact me, and send me an email. That would be cool. That way we can celebrate together. So, okay, let's see. What else do I have to tell you guys before we say goodnight? Let me see what other like tips or tricks. Okay, so I know what I wanted to share. There's a couple of you guys that maybe are the fox tonight, and that's totally okay. I'm not judging you. I've been the fox multiple times in my life before too and didn't quite start a blog tonight. So you were kind of writing notes and thinking these through. And maybe you're sitting there going, oh, I should have done it. Now I'm overwhelmed because I don't remember all the steps that she just went through. Maybe you had internet issues and something cut out and you're getting really overwhelmed. The setup process does not require you to be tech savvy. It's very simple, as all of you guys just saw. But it super helps to know the steps, because if you didn't know the steps, you might have selected, one of those things that they were trying to sell you on, or maybe you didn't, check the domain privacy protection. So now you're getting a lot of spam emails, or just the internet has your information, which is scary. So if you do the steps correctly, it's easy. If you don't know what you're doing, you could spend more money, take more time, get overwhelmed. So if you are the fox and you didn't start a blog today, that's totally okay. What I did is actually, I created a super mini course that goes over everything that we did in this webinar tonight, and it has a little bit more in it as well. And it's for sale on my site for just $7. So you can go to The Realistic Mama and there's a store tab, and you can get that course that's the beginner blogger's guide to just starting your blog. So it'll go through the entire Bluehost tutorial. It's going to go over how to set up your theme and all of that, like how to choose a topic, and all of that is in there. So for $7, it's kind of an easy thing. So if you didn't quite get a blog started tonight, that is a super awesome resource that I highly recommend you check out. So you can go to just my blog, therealisticmama.com, and go to that store tab and check it out. So the store tab is just like in the menu bar. You should be able to find it. So let's see. We've had a lot of people start blogs tonight. I'm so excited. I'm seeing some of the names. I'm so excited, you guys, for you. I'm so excited. Okay, so I really do. I get really excited when other people start blogs, because I know how awesome the impact of a blog has had on me. And being that rabbit and trying a blog and just doing it and planting your garden and seeing where it takes you is a really cool step. The blog has kind of pushed me to grow in ways that I otherwise would never have grown as a person. It's given me an awesome outlet for myself as a mom. It's just done incredible things. So I want to give each of you guys that did start a blog also, those that didn't start a blog, go check out that mini course at $7. Those of you that did start a blog and are trying to figure out like, what do you do next? The next step is installing your theme. So what I've done for you is, okay, back up really quickly. I have a complete like blog mastery course. Like if you're ready and super committed and wanting to like be profitable at your blog and really start making money and take it seriously, then I have a blog course, Successful Startup, that walks you through the entire thing. It's going to go through social media strategies. It's going to go through how to start a newsletter list and why creating a list is so important and how to make money through that. And it's going to go through way more than that. It's going to cover it all. So that is a perfect next step for you. Now, I did want to go one step further, and there is a lesson on how to install your theme that's in that course, but I wanted you guys to be able to get in that lesson at least for free. So I set it up as a free preview. So if you go to therealisticmama.com/theme, THEME, so therealisticmama/theme, you can actually watch that entire lesson without enrolling in the course. So that way you can get your theme installed and get it all figured out. And then those of you that do, you can either enroll in the course and then watch the theme lesson, or you can just go watch the theme lesson and maybe enroll in the course a little bit later. However works best for your family and your budget, and everything is totally fine. So those of you that do enroll in Successful Startup, it literally, it's a course if you're serious. So, if you're like, hey, I'm ready, I want to do this and I want to make money on my blog, it's the way to really fast track yourself. It's going to just give you the roadmap, the how-tos, the exact, I'm going to show you videos and all of that. So there's videos, there's some just text-based lessons, there's tips, tricks, worksheets, cheat sheets, my post checklist that I use before I publish a post to make sure I didn't miss anything important. And all those kinds of things are in the course. So there's also a Facebook group that you can go meet other bloggers in that's exclusive to people that are in Successful Startup. So Successful Startup's a really great next step. Or totally just go to therealisticmama/theme and at least get your next step after today and install your theme. So hopefully that helps you know where to go from here. And those of you that started blogs today, again, super congratulations. Those of you that didn't quite start, you can start tonight still. It's still not too late. You can create your blog tomorrow. Just at some point, take that first step and you can totally do it. So let me see in the comments really quickly what questions you guys have. So Julie, sorry, I missed your question. My computer is telling me that it is provisioning my WordPress on a temporary domain. It will automatically update when ready. I'm not quite sure what that means. Is this still right, or is it just my computer updating? So I've never really heard of that. So I'm not really sure, Julie, what's going on. Let's see. I'm going to go through these questions and see how I can help you. So Julie, my guess is maybe you just need to give your computer a second, maybe refresh the page in a minute if you need to. And then WordPress could even have already automatically installed. It's not going to download to your computer. It's just downloading onto your blog. Like it's kind of installing on your blog, not on your computer. So go to your new blog that you just set up at /WordPress-admin. And maybe you can already log into the back end and it's kind of just doing something, who knows what. So I would try that, Julie, whatever your new blog is. Let's say your new blog is julie.com. Go to julie.com/WP-admin and see if you can log into your new WordPress. Also, some of you guys might have a hard time logging into your first WordPress. If your password is so secure and you're having a hard time like typing it in right or remembering it, you can always have them email you your password or click forgot your password and they'll email you something. So you can always do that too. Let me see what other questions I can help kind of work through this. Anonymous. Oh, Anonymous is Cassie. Cassie, thank you for joining us. Absolutely, you're welcome. I hope that you guys you found value from tonight's thing. Let's see. From this was a fun webinar to do with you guys. Thank you for joining me and honoring me with your time. I do hope that you walked away, feeling like you learned something. Let's see what other. I'm just trying to look through. There's been a lot of comments and questions, so I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. How do I download WordPress? So WordPress should automatically begin to install on your site. Again, it does not download to your computer, it just installs on your site. So after you created your Bluehost password, it should have automatically installed for you. If it didn't, you click your new blog name from that drop-down menu and click install. But most of you should have already installed automatically. So you can probably just go, like I said, to your newblogname.com/WP-admin, and you should be able to log in that way already. Let's see. So hopefully that answered Annie's question. This is so exciting. I love seeing all the names of everyone who started blogs tonight. Okay, I think I got all the questions so far. So if you have any other questions, leave them in the chat really quickly before we say goodbye tonight. That way we can get them answered. So if you have any other final questions, type as quickly as you can while I sip a little bit of my tea. This is one of my favorite mugs. It says, "Every day is an adventure." And this makes me happy. The inside's yellow. It reminds me of like sunshine and happiness. So every day is an adventure, you guys. And you guys did an awesome, the fact that you showed up on this webinar is huge. The fact that so many of you guys started blogs, that is so huge. Those of you that didn't start blogs and are planning to, maybe through my mini course or, going to the Realistic Mama /start to get that cheaper Bluehost pricing. However it is, I'm proud of you guys for taking that first step. So let's see the last questions here. How much is your blogging course, Alita, and what is it called again? Okay, so all the blogging information, like my blog mastery course, it's called Successful Startup, and it's also the way you can access it is by going to my blog and then clicking that store tab. It's currently $197, and we're not sure how long we'll have it at that price for. So definitely snag it if you're interested. There's also like a payment plan that if that is more doable for your budget. But the fact literally in Successful Startup, so Successful Startup's going to go through everything. You can even on the read all about it like before you enroll and see all the lessons that it has in it, but it's going to go over what you need to know to set up like your blog extremely correctly, set up a newsletter list, make it successful, how to make money, what all the different streams of income are, how to set them all up correctly, how to do them well, tips, tricks, all of that's in there. But the super cool parts, and these are just bonuses of the course, is the Facebook group that's going to connect with other bloggers, because networking is huge. Being able to connect with other bloggers is so valuable for lots of reasons. So when you connect with other bloggers, you can start sharing each other's content. You can pin each other's content, share it on Facebook, and suddenly if you're each sharing each other's content, both of your blogs are just growing. So this is what's exciting about blogging, is it's not just competing against each other, it's actually growing together. So you guys can network and connect with each other and grow together. If you learn a really cool, valuable tip, you can share it with the other person, and they can use that tip to grow their blog too. That was huge. I was using, when I started, I was using a certain type of advertisement on my site. And a blogger I knew said, "Hey, I found another advertisement company that we can work through that's making more than double what we're currently making." And I was like, "What?" So I switched to it, and the next month I made over double in my ad income. That was huge. And I wouldn't even have known about that if I wasn't communicating and learning from other people. So being able to network with other bloggers is incredible. So everyone who's in Successful Startup is in an exclusive Facebook group, and it's all like-minded people. So literally that Facebook group alone is worth the cost of the course. Another bonus of the course is there's a group board on Pinterest that you can request to be invited to if you're a member of Successful Startup. And that way you can pin your pins to that board and get more traffic on Pinterest as well. So literally those are huge bonuses. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, Successful Startup also has a payment plan, which might be more doable for some of you guys. So definitely check that out too. Let's see what else. I'm just seeing what other questions, if I missed anything. Okay, let's see. Can you post a link to the next step once we have our site set up and we're ready to start actually making money? So Erin, are you talking about the themes lesson that I was talking about? For that, that's a great, once now that we have, our 3 layers set up and you're ready to set up your theme, layer number 4, you can go to the Realistic Mama /theme, and it will take you to the free lesson in Successful Startup that will walk you through exactly how to set up your course. Let's see. And for those of you that money's really tight, totally doable. Starting a blog, you can start it just on Bluehost for $3 a month. You can also, if you need that tutorial that's going to go over, everything that we did today, topics, ideal readers, how to decide your name, all those different kinds of things, you can get the $7 course that's available on our site too, for the basics of blogging, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Okay, so here's another question. Do you make money from a number of things, like affiliate links, your own products, and an email database that you can then send the affiliate links to? Okay, so different ways to make money, I think, is the question Cassie's asking. So the different ways that you can make money they're probably endless, but the main ways probably are advertisement. So when you go to a blog and you see ads, I make money currently through several, and I kind of like that because then it feels more well-rounded. So you can do like advertisement. Affiliate income is a big one. Affiliate income is when you like recommend recommend a product that you love, and then you make a small percentage of that as a thank you from that company for sending customers there. So the price is exactly the same for your readers, and you're just recommending stuff that you love, and that will really benefit your readers' lives. So that's affiliate. Sponsored posts are another one. And all of this information and how to and ways to get these, and great companies like to work for sponsored posts and things like that are all in Successful Startup too. Let's see, because for sponsored posts, you don't have to necessarily like contact brands directly yourself. You can actually connect with like third-party companies. So some of them are like Tap Influence or IZEA or Clever Girls or Sway, I think it's called. I think Massive Sway, I think it's called, or Sway Girls. They've kind of changed their names a couple times. I think right now it's Massive Sway. These are all companies that basically work for you, and they're middle people, and they find brands to work with. And then you sign up and say, hey, I have a new blog, and this is what my blog looks like. This is what I blog about. And they'll find brands that will work really well with you. And so they do a lot of the hard work for you. So I recommend doing that if you're interested in doing sponsored posts, is connecting with some of those like third-party companies, because they'll already connect you with these people for paid sponsored work. So maybe, I make money sometimes for pinning something from a brand or sharing something on Facebook, or, a blog post. I've done blog posts for like Sharpie or worked with Target or different things like that, where I might not have been able to directly get in contact with somebody from Sharpie or from Target, to be able to create a sponsorship. But these third-party companies were able to contact the right people in those companies and then hire all of us bloggers to work with them. So that's really cool. Products is another big way, and your newsletter list is going to be one of the best ways to make money long-term. And again, or actually not even long-term, really in the short term, it's more about working smarter, not harder. The biggest thing that I've heard from probably almost every single blogger I've ever heard is they didn't start a newsletter list soon enough. So that is actually something that I'm kind of thinking about starting to create a mini course, specifically more on newsletter that way, because it's such a crucial part of creating a loyal tribe, creating, income and profitability through your blog. A newsletter is going to be huge. And especially like as you start recommending things and creating your own products maybe. And again, products don't have to be scary. Some people write books or ebooks. Some people just create courses. Some people sell printables or things like that. So the product doesn't necessarily have to be like insane. Maybe you just sell a printable for 99 cents to start with, or whatever it is. So those are just some of the ways that you can make money as bloggers. And as you start to know what you're doing with blogging, you might even have a bigger blogger that says, hey, I want to hire you as my assistant because you know what you're doing. You know how to work WordPress. You know how to do all this stuff. So now you have this awesome experience that makes you more hireable. Also, let's say you want to go get a job somewhere else, and they're like, hey, you're filling out your resume, and you're like, actually, also, you should take a look at my entire blog, and your blog is your resume for speaking engagements later, job positions, things like that. Like, you're now growing your brand, you're growing your own self. So those are just some of the ways that you can make money. It's really kind of endless on the different ways that you can make money. Hopefully, Cassie, that answered your question. If you have more specific questions, ask away. Let's see, what else? Did I miss anything? Let me see if there's any other questions. I'm scrolling. What's the third party people called? So did I answer that a little bit? Some of the best ones, the ones that I love starting with, Tap Influence is amazing. IZEA is great. Now all of these, what I recommend is just starting your blog, getting some content up, getting some people to your site, because you'll need to have, some page views, some readers to your site, some social media following first before you'll probably get sponsored posts. But you can start kind of filling out your profile with those. So Tap Influence, IZEA, Clever Girls, Massive Sway, Acorn Influence is another great one. I'm trying to think. There's more than that probably. I'm just can't think of them right now. So those are all great ones. And another thing is, as you start growing, so this is, again, think outside the box. So as you start growing and you're growing your blogs and now you have, several posts and a lot more, we call it traffic. So just page views, readers coming to your site. And your Pinterest has grown, you have more Facebook followers and things like that, but you've noticed still none of those companies have asked you to do a sponsored post. You're like, hey, I'm actually I'm a decent sized blog now. One of the best ways to initially get in is to send them an email and say, hey, haven't seen any, offers for a sponsored post yet. I want to let you know that I have a blog and this is what I blog about. And I'd love for you guys to give me a try. I think that I'm going to, blow you out of the waters with what I have. And here's a sample of my work or something like that. And that is going to all of a sudden take you from this new blogger pool, people that they've never worked with before, and rise you to the next level. They're gonna be like, oh, this person actually took the time to email us. This person actually is going to deliver on time. If we give her, a sponsored work, she's probably gonna get it done on time because she's on top of things in life. So sending a quick email to somebody there is a great way sometimes to get in. Again, just think outside the box. And if you're networking with other bloggers, they might be able to have more tips like that for you too. So let's see, what other questions we have? What's a newsletter list? So Cassie, a newsletter list is basically just your readers, if they want to follow you more closely, they'll give you their email address. They'll subscribe to your newsletters. They'll subscribe to getting your updates. So, then you'll start to basically have a collection of email addresses, and that's going to be basically your newsletter list. Those are your most loyal followers that want you to email them when you have a new update or something exciting or want to add value to their lives. And so that is what we call our newsletter list. So once you have that, that's your most loyal tribe. Those are the people that have said, hey, I like what I saw on your blog and I want more of this. So that's what your newsletter list is. So let's see. The course would be awesome on newsletter. Yes. So that's again, in my wheels turning. I have a lot of projects and ideas. So we'll see. Hopefully that will happen soon. Let's see. I think we answered most of the questions. Let me see. There's a couple more maybe on the bottom here, but my scrolling thing's not working. Hold on. Okay. So last question Cassie asked is, who do we need to email about getting those sponsored posts? So once you connect to those companies and let's say, you connected with Acorn Influence, right? So you fill in your profile and stuff. You can just go to their main website and probably find an email address on the contact us or something and just say, hey, I signed up. I have a profile on with you guys and I would love to work with you guys for sponsored posts. So let me see. Someone said, I don't have a Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, but I do have a Pinterest. Do I need the other social media accounts? What is the best to use for growing your blog? So it really just depends on you. So you're going to hear a lot of different things out there. Some people are going to say you need everything and you need to have as much, be versatile. Is that a good word? Well-rounded with a lot of social media accounts. And I can see that side, and I've done that as well. I have Facebook and a Twitter and a Google and a Pinterest. But to be honest, for my blog personally, probably between 75 to 90% of my traffic is from Pinterest. Maybe that's just because of the type of stuff that I talk about. Maybe it's just because I love Pinterest so much that I know how to work Pinterest. I don't know. Some people, most of their traffic comes from Facebook. So I'm not saying choose Pinterest. I'm just saying that what you choose might just depend on your own strengths and how much time you have and the quality over quantity. So if you can be super amazing at something and put all your focus on it, that might be better than, being so like having a little bit of effort in so many places and not having a lot of growth anywhere, but instead being like, okay, I have a Pinterest and I'm going to really focus on it. I have a Facebook, I'm going to really focus on it. And then obviously make sure you're well-rounded and create a newsletter list, because at the end of the day, social media, you don't own any of your followers, but a newsletter list, you do. You have all those email addresses that you can email them at any time. Facebook could just decide, hey, shut down your page. Or they could, Facebook decides how many people see the posts that you do send out. But your newsletter list, that you do have control over. So whatever you do choose, make sure you have newsletter also. But I would just say, work smarter, not harder. Do what you're good at. If you find success in something, do more of that. So hopefully that answered the majority of the questions. And I am so glad that you guys joined me tonight. I'm going to wrap us up. That way you guys can go spend some time with your family and I can go kind of wind down for the night here. So I am so glad again that you joined. Thank you for honoring your time. Congratulations for those of you that started blogs. And I believe in you. If you haven't started your blog yet, you can do it. So excited. Thanks again. Feel free to email me anytime. Stop by our blog and let us know how we can help. So thanks you guys so much. Talk to you later.